I love the look of open-top rimless aquariums, but one of the problems is that I enjoy keeping fish that are known to jump out. In this video, I show my DIY solution to preventing any jumpers while keeping the look of an open rimless aquarium. Connor here, welcome to my channel. About a year ago, when I went to upgrade my tank, I knew I wanted to get a rimless tank. The problem was that I had a rainbow shark and clown loaches that both needed to go in this upgraded tank. They are both species known for being jumpers, and I did not want to risk that. The solutions I found online all looked like they would detract from the open top rimless look, and they all involved some type of colored plastic being added to the top. So I ended up looking for products on my own and came up with my own DIY solution that turned out to look pretty good, and even better than I expected, and I've had no issues with fish jumping out a year after the tank has been running using this solution. So first, I want to go over the equipment you need, and it's only two things. So the first thing is these rimless lid clips. You can buy a pack of 20 on Amazon, and they come in different millimeters, so you want to look up the thickness of the glass in your aquarium. I had 12 millimeter thickness, so I went with those, and they were about $15 for a pack of 20. I'd say you only need about 10 to 12 clips, but it depends on your tank size. The next thing you need is this clear mesh netting, which you can also get on Amazon, and I'll put links if you're curious down below. It gives you a pretty large amount, and so you can get multiple uses out of it if you want. Then what you want to do once you have those two products is you want to measure the dimensions of your aquarium, and you want to cut the netting into those. Now I'd say you want to add 1 to 2 inches in both direction extra, depending on the size. If you have a 20 gallon, you probably only need 1 inch extra in each direction. But for me, a 65 gallon, especially with thicker glass, I'd say 2 inches in each direction is better, because you're going to trim it down once you put it on the aquarium. And it's better to have more than less due to the stretching needed when you put that clips on. So yeah, just cut one direction and then cut the other. Very simple. You can just try to cut over. You really can't mess this up unless you cut too small. Now the next step, once you have it cut to the dimensions of your tank, is you just want to place it on the top, and it'll kind of fall in, but that's okay at first. If you have a second person, that also helps, so they can hold one side while you do the other. And I'd recommend putting the clips on the shorter end of your tank first. You're going to place it on and put a clip on each corner, and so you just kind of want to stretch it out first. This initial putting on initially does not have to be perfect at all. You're just kind of getting it on there so you can adjust it and get it to the perfect fit after it's already on there. This really is the hardest part, just getting it on there, because it's a little awkward, especially if you do it by yourself. So I'd recommend if you have a second person, do that. Otherwise, you just kind of get it on there, and then you can adjust it once it's there. Once you have the 4 corners on, then you want to put clips on the back to stretch it out. And you're just going to keep adjusting them until it stretches nice, but you don't want to go too tight that it's popping off. I like to do each back corner and then 2 clips in the middle. This is for 65 gallon, but you can play with it and see what works best for yourself. And once it's on, you'll see there is, because we cut extra, you'll see that it's a little bit extra dangling off. You can just now go through and just cut along there, and then when you're looking from a distance, you won't even see it, and even when you're close up, it'll just barely be hanging over the edge, so you won't really even notice it. Because it's clear, it looks completely fine in my opinion. And depending how seamless you want it to look, you can cut it more or less. The only note is the more you cut, the more difficult it potentially is once you're taking it off for water changes and such. So where the clips are attached, I wouldn't cut too much. A few tips for this. The first is, if you look, you'll see mine's a little bunched up. That's because when I got it, they vacuum sealed it, and it was all folded up, and I just kind of wanted to put it on right away because I already had fish in here. The first time I actually got it, it was actually rolled up, so I didn't have this problem. But if you get it like this, I would just recommend a day before you're actually going to put it on, just put it on the ground and stretch it out, put some books on the corners, and it'll flatten out. Now, the other thing that I mentioned is having a second person to hold it while you're putting it on the aquarium is very beneficial, because you don't have to worry about it falling in while you're putting it in. and it can be a little bit frustrating trying to get it on by yourself. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video. If you found it useful, I would appreciate a thumbs up on the video so others can find it more easily. And if you try this or have seen other solutions to keeping a lid on rimless aquariums, I'd love to hear about them. Anyway, I'll catch everyone in the next video.